Hi, everyone. Rusty Dunn from Enterprise Communications here at Caterpillar. And I am with the Caterpillar Foundation president, Asha Varghese. Asha, great to see you. I know we're all living and working in a new normal, communicating in different ways. But we know that with the coronavirus touching everyone, affecting everyone, we're working through it. And I know the Cat Foundation is now in the fight to help here. How are you doing? Good to see you.
Likewise, Rusty. Good to see you as well. Definitely unprecedented times right now.
Well, I know that just days ago, the Caterpillar Foundation committed $8.5 million in support of the response efforts and to support our global communities, which is awesome. Talk about that announcement and the types of organizations that are going to be working with this donation support and getting the funds out to where they need to go.
Great. So the foundation has been working very closely with the global community to understand where we can make the biggest impact. That these are unprecedented times for us, and the impact has been, as we see, it's been a very global impact with this pandemic. So the foundation's investment will support nonprofit organizations around the world who are helping to prevent, detect, and respond to this pandemic, providing resources to hospitals, medical staff, and patients, addressing food insecurity, as well as enabling online educational support, STEM education, especially for the youth that are impacted in the underserved communities. We've been strategically partnering with organizations that have a global scale, such as the UN Foundation and the World Health Organization Solidarity Fund, as well as global food banking networks that are prioritizing their COVID-19 assistance based on the need in individual countries. Just as an example, through the UN Foundation and the World Health Organization, we've been directly providing support to purchase and ship protective equipment gear to well over 57 countries, as well as providing public safety announcements, as well as guidance documents that WHO has been publishing on a regular basis, strengthening lab and medical management capacity, as well as interventions for vaccinations. So this has been a great partnership for us in providing the additional support to organizations across the globe. In addition, our donation has provided support to King Baudin Foundation Fund, specifically to Italy. We've been working with our local teams in Italy to understand which communities have been impacted the most, and we've prioritized 4 Caterpillar communities as well as other hospitals that have been greatly impacted by this pandemic. Additional support to the Boys and Girls Club of America and looking at providing support on educational resources, especially with students out of school for a long period of time. Feeding America has been a huge partner of ours in providing support to local food banks and providing emergency meal kits to families that are in need. And locally, in Illinois, we've supported the COVID-19 Response Fund that is providing support statewide to families that are in need. This whole journey for us started in China and providing support to the China Women's Development Fund, specifically in the Hubei province, in providing support to the healthcare community there where the outbreak initially occurred.
And I love the fact that with this global pandemic, we have a global plan, the global distribution and diversity of as how these funds go out and support the different individuals and different organizations around the world. So thank you for that. Well, the other thing is I understand that $8.5 million commitment, Asha, has now grown to about $10 million roughly with the outpouring from our U.S. employees, our retirees. Talk about that, how we've been able to take that investment and do even more with it.
Absolutely, that's right, Rusty. As part of our overall investment, we announced that Foundation is expanding our matching gifts program for a limited period for a 2-to-1 match for our U.S. employees and retirees to provide donations to eligible organizations that are providing support to COVID-19. our team has a long history of giving back to communities where we live, work, and play. And Caterpillar people are doers, and they're committed, they're passionate, and they're ready to make a difference. And we've seen each and every one of our folks really rise to the occasion. And thanks to their incredible support to our employees, we had originally launched this with match of up to $1 million. And we quickly surpassed that. No surprise, given how committed we are to our communities. We quickly brought up our total investment for the matching gifts to 2.5 million cap, which then brought up our total investment for COVID-19 to $10 million. From food banks to hospitals to educational institutions, not just locally, but also globally, our employee and retiree donations have truly made an impact in the communities where we live and work, and really making it more safer and stronger, especially during this difficult time. Just to give you some statistics, we provided support to over 520 nonprofits, some that are not just supporting U.S. Communities, but also they have a global impact. We had over 580 folks participate in the program, and our total donation really is close to about $4 million collective that our employees and retirees have provided to the communities. And there are so many great examples of nonprofits that were impacting as a result of that, from the Midwest Food Bank in Central Illinois to Rady's Children's Hospital in San Diego, as well as to Doctors Without Borders. Our employees and retirees really stepped up to provide that support, and we couldn't be more grateful for the support they've provided, especially during these uncertain times.
And it's that ultimate proof point, Asha, that everyone wants to do something during times like this. Everyone wants to make some type of contribution, whether it's giving money or giving their time, and they continue to step up to do that. The other thing is, I know that the foundation's doing a lot to collaborate with our specific facilities, our different facilities in our different communities around the world, because I think a lot of folks, they want to help, and they want to help in their own backyard, in essence. Right. So any examples there of the organizations we're supporting to make sure folks in their own backyard are helping folks where they live?
The facilities are such a critical part of our support, and we've been working very closely with the Caterpillar communities across the globe in understanding what the local needs are. And we're supporting nearly 50 local communities by engaging the facilities and understanding which organizations we want to partner with. Just to give you a few examples, starting in Houston, the team partnered with an organization called Baker Ripley, which is a fab lab that's providing components for face masks, which I think we all know that the personal protective gear is in such short supply for our healthcare providers. So they're producing on an average of about 200 face masks on a weekly basis. And they're also collaborating with local universities and other maker spaces in order to scale this very quickly. And not only are they providing that direct support, but they're also teaching as they're making these products for students to be able to learn from that. So that is such a great example of leveraging the funds to be able to provide that type of support directly to their own communities. In Illinois, we're partnering with the COVID-19 Response Fund, which not focuses across the state in providing resources to local communities, foundations, and nonprofits for emergency food, for interim housing, utility, financial assistance, you name it, the basic human service needs that people are currently struggling with, and that's where our support is going as part of our local engagement. Just going across the globe to places like Indonesia, our team has identified organizations like Hope Worldwide, again, providing personal protective gear to healthcare workers that are taking care of approximately 1,500 patients, meals to 1,200 underserved families, and really providing those prevention messages and flyers and videos. Our team in Brazil has been active in providing support through a local organization that's, again, providing personal protective gear, but also hygiene and food kits to families that are most in need. These are just some great examples, and there's so much more in our own backyard where our employees are working hand in hand with the foundation for a countrywide engagement for COVID-19 response.
What a great effort. What a great way that everyone is coming together all at the same time. And I know you and I've talked prior to this, Asha, about the Caterpillar Foundation's direction, the strategy, and the foundation's vision is transforming communities to be stronger, more resilient, more sustainable. And during a time like this, with this type of vision and mission, and the aspiration, it really hits home in terms of how we're taking care of each other and becoming stronger together. Thoughts on that in terms of the timing with the foundation's direction and what you're looking to do amidst this global pandemic?
You're right in that, we recently had our strategy change, but the reality is that for, nearly 70 years, the Caterpillar Foundation has continued to embrace the mission of stronger, sustainable communities and resilient communities around the world. So although this is an unprecedented time for us with COVID-19, we remain strongly and deeply committed to protecting the health and safety of our communities, our nonprofit partners, as well as for our employees and in the communities where they live, work, and play. We have a long history focused on investing in the sustainable future and building resiliency and prosperity for each and every one of us, and that still holds true today for us. These are extremely challenging times, but we're very hopeful that as a result of our partnerships, we can bring together the work that will help our communities emerge stronger together.
Well said, and I think we're all taking it a day at a time, but at the same time keeping an eye on being stronger as we come out of this, and we will come out of this. So, Asha, thanks for everything that you and your team are doing and your efforts that are continuing throughout these extreme circumstances. Stay safe. The best to you and your family. Great to talk with you, Asha.
Thank you. Thank you, Rusty.
And thanks to all of you watching. Everyone, stay safe. Take care of your families. We'll talk soon.